Hello and welcome to Halcyon Blink. Short, choppy episodes. I gave up being original on these a long time ago. Anyway, on this episode I'm going to be talking about something that's conflicted me more the longer it's gone on. My fandom of Linkin Park. Okay, they might be my favourite band of all time, but that's based on a very short period between 1999 and 2006 when they were actually good. Allow me to explain. Linkin Park were huge back in the day, and I mean massive. They're probably one of the few properly heavy metal bands or new metal bands that have made the transition from American rock music or underground culture to mainstream success. I mean, like I say, I heard them here in the UK, and by the time I'd gotten onto them, they were already fairly popular. And the thing was, Hybrid Theory and Meteora were both fairly similarly sounding tracks, and it was something that drew a lot of criticism at the time. But to be perfectly honest, I loved both of those albums. Structurally, they were sound. They were very melodical. Each song felt like its own. It had its own theme and feel, almost its own. You could feel the color scheme of the music video that they were going to make for it. I loved those two albums. The distinct samples, the absolute raw emotion of the singing. The rap was a little bit corny. I'm not going to lie. Mike Shinoda has come on in recent years in terms of his ability to spit a lyric, but in most cases the rap was sound and it helped solidify the song, and it gave great hooks for the fans to sing along to. I should know. I was there in Nottingham and I was there at the MK Bowl to sing my heart out, and if Chester Bennington was stood right there right now, I'd give the guy a kiss. I don't care. I'd go gay for Chester. No hashtag go gay for Chester, and no liking this video just for that. Fuck you and all you stand. Point being, Linkin Park were one of my favourite bands. In the end, remained probably my favourite song of all time. And then they tried to be cool. Minutes to Midnight wasn't terrible, but it felt somehow restricted and I guess we have to swear now to try and stand out from the hoi polloi of new metal. The thing that they'd started, they were trying to set themselves apart from rather than just try to be the leaders of. And it felt like they were pandering to a market or a demographic that wasn't theirs. My demographic was still listening to Linkin Park, and yet it felt like they were still trying to cater to the graphic below us. It made no sense. I guess it makes sense in this. They turned to a lot of other different inspirations like social media and political issues and their own life experiences growing up from being teens to adults to middle-aged men. I get that, that's fine. And like I say, some of their more recent albums have actually been pretty good. The Hunting Party I actually really enjoyed from start to finish in terms of the songs that it had to offer and the deep rock style of the songs. But it still doesn't quite encapsulate why I love Linkin Park so much. There's still something missing about the emotion of the songs and the rhythm and the just rocking out sake, man. It just doesn't feel like the days when I used to rock out big black hoodies, blonde hair, knee-long chains, blacked out fingernails and Converse. It just doesn't feel the same. And I get that that's a sign of the times. But still, Red Hot Chili Peppers still sounds like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Green Day still sound like Green Day. Blink-182 still sound like Blink-182. And they still rock. So I don't get why Linkin Park can't do the same thing. And I get that they've grown up as people and they want to experiment with other things. Fall Out Boy is another good example of a band that I really liked when they were sort of first blowing up, but have now become kind of mainstream shills of themselves. And it's sad to me because both of their albums, again, Linkin Park and Fall Out Boy, both represented a time in my life when things just were awesome all the time. And maybe that's why I look back on them fondly. And that's maybe why Linkin Park still retains a great deal of emotion in my heart, because quite frankly, some of their songs are still so unique and so beautiful. It resonates with that point in my life and will never ever be eradicated from it. We do yearn to be able to go back and reminisce about those times, and I get that. But come on, man. Would it be that hard to simply reword in the end, change some of the chords and re-release it just for little old me? And yeah, I will always have Linkin Park's albums untouched by them or indeed anyone else. And yeah, I effectively got my wish when I got the Reanimation album, which I loved, by the way. And I'll be able to have The Bowl, and yes, I'll have Nottingham. Great stories behind both of those, by the way. Good times. But they will always remain my favourite band, and sadly enough, we're encroaching 20 years since Hybrid Theory was released. 1999, which means that in 3 years, I'll have been alive long enough to know an album that's been released 20 years. And that makes me really old. really old. But I think that come that time, my fandom will have been proven right, and their status as one of the best rock bands of all time will also be saved, despite my bitching and complaining. P.S. I love you, Chester! And that was Halcyon Blink. Thanks very much for watching this episode. I know it's slightly longer than usual, but I hope you stuck around for it. In the meantime, please like, share and subscribe this one, or the last one, or the one before that, but not the first one. Not the first one. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out the rest of these episodes. If you can, also check out some of the top 5s. I'd really like to get some feedback on those. The Halcyon episodes will probably be coming back towards the end of this little run. The Razor reviews might be coming back soon as well, so I really hope you guys check out the new formats for those. And the podcast shall be returning. It's going to be amazing. Thank you so much for watching again, and take care.